Okay, we're gonna be talking about consumer math, chapter 12, lesson 1, and this is exercise C. So the question says, calculate the correct change for each purchase using the counting up method, write pay and say columns to describe the change given. I'm gonna simplify this. I want you to determine how much change the person would be due, and then indicate how much of each item you would give them to give them that change. So I think question 1 is probably really easy. I'm gonna go to question 3 just because it's a little more complicated and I wanna do not the easiest one on the paper. So I'll do number 3, and then hopefully that gives you an idea of what you're supposed to do for the other 5 problems. So if somebody were to give me $13, or if the total was $13.85 and they handed me a 10 and a 5, I need to calculate how much the change would be. All we need to do then is take the total here, 10 and 5, that'd be $15, and then subtract $13.85. If you have a calculator, or you can do it by hand, I'm going to do it on the calculator just to speed things along. So if they give me a 10 and a 5, I know they gave me $15, and then I want to take $15 and I want to subtract the purchase price, which I think was $13.85. And so that means I owe them $1.15. So the change due is $1.15. And so then the question is also asking, how do you give someone $1.15 of change? That would be $1 and 1 dime and 1 nickel. So my answer to question number 3 would look something like $1.15, which I obtained by doing $15 minus $13.85. And to give someone $1.15, it would be $1. It would be 1 dime. And I guess if you want to write out $1 or write out 1 dime, I'm going to write 10 cents because I know that's the same as 1 dime. And then I'm going to write out 5 cents because I know that's the same as 1 nickel. But we could write out 1 nickel, we could write out 1 dime, and we could write out $1. So this is the answer to question number 3. To give someone $1.15 worth of change, it would be $1 bill, 1 dime, and 1 nickel. So you can do the remaining 5 questions the same way. If I jump to question D, that was the next one that was asked about. I'm actually going to just have you do the exact same thing. Don't worry about the counting down method. Just if this was the change that someone was due, how would you give them that change? So question 1 says 42 cents. If I needed to give someone 42 cents, I would give them a quarter. Oops, if I'm switching to a new page, I think I have to do this. Come on. There we go. Okay, if I wanted to give somebody 42 cents, I would give them a quarter, that's 25 cents. I would give them a dime, that's 35 cents. I would give them a nickel, that's 5 cents. So we're at 25, 30, 5, and 40, and then I would have to give them 2 pennies. So I'm going to go like this, 2 pennies, 2 1 cents. And so that's 25, 35, 40, 41, 42 cents. So listing out the coins or bills that you would give someone. So if you wanted to write it 1 quarter, 1 dime, 1 nickel, 2 pennies, or if you just wanted to write the denominations to make things a little bit simpler, I'll leave that up to you. So just what bills or what coins, like for number 3, you'd give them a $1 bill and some coins, or for like number 6, you'd give them a $10 bill and a $1 bill and a penny. Just what specific denominations would you give people to give them that money? Okay, and then the third question that was requested was chapter 12, lesson 2, exercise B. Okay, so the point of this exercise is having you calculate the square root of a value when you don't have a calculator to do it for you. So I'm gonna just say, if you have a calculator, please feel free to simply calculate the answer. You can type the square root of 300 into your calculator and round your answer to the nearest tenth. That means provide your answer with 1 decimal point. I am going to show you how to calculate these answers if you don't have a calculator. It just requires a lot more work. So first of all, we're going to have to know what our perfect squares are. And that was already done in example A, or exercise A, so hopefully we have some of our squares figured out already. I went ahead and generated a list of them. Let me see if I can find it. Here it was. Where like 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, right? 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 6 times 6, and I went all the way down to 20. 20 times 20 is 400. I think the assignment goes all the way up to 1024, so you might have to keep going because my list stopped at 400. But if I'm looking specifically at example 1, it says find the square root of 300. So I'm going to go to my list of perfect squares, and 300 falls between 289 and 324. Those are my 2 perfect squares that go right around 289 and 324. And so we are supposed to then go between 17 and 18. That will be 17.5. And we're going to do 300 divided by 17.5. Let me see if I can do that over here. So number 1, we would be doing 300 divided by 17.5. So then you can carry out that division the long way if you want to. Like I said, if you have a calculator, feel free to use that. But 300 divided by 17.5, that comes out to be 17.14. So we're going to just round it to 17.1. Now that is not truly the square root of 300, but that is an approximation that we're going to use when we don't have access to a calculator. Okay, good luck with that, and let me know if you have any questions.